Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good morning everyone. My name is Satria Hadi Putra and I am from Group 4. Today we're gonna talk about gender equality. I'll become the first speaker and then Maria Wilhelmina gonna be the second speaker and the last is Qatrunnada will be the third speaker. Before we start, our group has prepared four material topics to explain. Now let's talk about gender equality. Definition of gender equality. UNICEF says gender equality means that women and men and girls and boys enjoy the same rights, resources, opportunities and protection. It does not require that girls and boys or women and men be the same or that they be treated exactly alike. However, like all other concepts, gender equality can be used in different ways and can convey different meanings. To be sure, gender equality can mean that women and men should be treated the same or differently. The term gender refers to the attributes and opportunities of economic, social, and cultural elements associated with sex, male or female. In most sense of society, being male or female is not simply a matter of distinct biological and physical characteristics. Men and women face different expectations about how they should dress, behave or work. Social relations between men and women, whether in the sense of family, workplace, or public sphere, also reflect an understanding of the talents, characteristics, and appropriate behaviors for women and men. For example, it implies that women and men should be paid the same for doing the same work, or that they should be treated with different drugs and methods for equal health care. Okay, next, what is gender equality? The first one is the process of being fair to women and men. To ensure fairness, strategies and measures must often be available to compensate for women's historical and social disadvantage that prevent women and men from otherwise operating on a level playing field. Equity leads to equality. The second is requires equal enjoyment by women and men of socially valued goods, opportunities, resources, and rewards. Where gender inequality exists, it is generally women who are excluded or disadvantaged in relation to decision making and access to economic and social resources. Therefore, a critical aspect of promoting gender equality is the empowerment of women with a focus on identifying and redressing power imbalance and giving women more autonomy to manage their own lives. The last is, it doesn't mean men and women being the same. It is only that access to opportunities and life change is neither dependent on nor constrained by their sex. Achieving gender equality requires women's empowerment to ensure that decision-making at private and public levels and access to resources are no longer weighted in immense favor, so that both women and men can fully participate as equal partners in productive and reproductive life. And the next material will be presented by Maria Wilhelmina.
Okay, now I will explain about the benefits of gender equality. Research show that the world has a long way to go to achieve gender equality. Despite the cadence of progress, millions of women and girls still deal with violence and discrimination. Some benefits of gender equality. 1. Gender equality gives everyone equal opportunities. Education is the key to equal opportunities. In today's world, more boys than girls are educated. According to UNICEF, around 1 in 4 girls between 15 to 19 years old don't have a job and are not getting an education or training. For boys, the ratio is 1 in 10. Right from the beginning, this gives boys better opportunities than girls. Without many options, girls are often forced into marriage or human trafficking. It is also much harder to live dangerous relationships and situations without education to fall back on. When gender equality starts with education, everyone has the opportunity to improve their lives. Second, gender equality is good for children. Reproductive rights are the key parts of gender equality. When women make their own reproductive choice, their lives improve. They are then able to better care for their children they do choose to have. Having equal pay with men, women can provide better healthcare, better food, and better opportunities for their kids. Even if a mother chooses to stay at home with her children, the effect of gender equality provides a safety net in case she does need to go to work. Studies also show that infant mortality rates decrease as a women's education level increases. In a world with gender equality, children are step up for success and happiness. Third, gender equality is good for marginalized racial groups. Gender-based discrimination has a close relationship with racial discrimination. In most places, women belonging to marginalized racial groups are treated less equal than other women. The gender pay gap is a prime example. In the United States, Asian and Caucasian women earn more than Hispanic, Black, and Native women. White women are also more likely to get better healthcare and better job opportunities. That's why gender equality must be intersectional. This requires an acknowledgement of different experiences, identities, and the unique discrimination women face. Striving for intersectional gender equality can help reduce racial discrimination and inequality wherever it's found. 4. Gender equality is good for men. Gender equality doesn't only benefit girls and women, it benefits men as well. There are a few key reasons. A man who is perceived as feminine is not a real man when gender inequality exists. This leads to toxic masculinity, which is destructive and harmful to everyone. 5. Gender equality is good for business and the economy. When girls and women to get equal education and job opportunities with men, all of society benefits. Studies reveal that a diverse workplace, a more productive workplace. That diversity includes gender diversity. There's research that shows specifically that business that put some women in the top leadership roles do better business with only men in leadership. That success translates into the economy as a whole. Closing up gender pay gap saves a country money. Equal education and job also significantly reduce poverty rates, lifting an entire nation and improving its GDP. 6. Gender equality fosters peace. Violence disrupts society at every level. Gender inequality it is sources of a lot of violence, including human trafficking and lack of legal protection for abused women. Improving equality for girls and women can reduce the amount of violence and provide security for those who are vulnerable. Research also shows that the gender equality is a better indicator of a country's likelihood to deploy military force than its GDP. As gender equality improves, a country's space improves. In turn, this is important for gender equality because was disproportionately affects women. 7. Gender equality. It's good for everyone. Children, women, and men benefits from gender equality. It is also addresses racial discrimination and improve business and economy. While it will be sometimes before gender equality is a reality around the world, we made enough progress to see its benefits in action. The goal now is to keep promoting gender equality while replacing all systems based on discrimination and out mindset. Okay, thank you. For the next explanation, we'll be presenting by my friend as the third speaker.
Hi guys, my name is Qatrunnada as the last speaker, and now I will explain about the example and the solution of gender equality. Equality is where a situation becomes equal, parallel, and horizontal. Gender equality is a view of the thought that men or women should be treated equally. So, what example of gender equality in society? There are 3 examples in here. First example is the freedom of men or women to obtain education as freely as possible or as high as possible. In the 18th century and earlier, women were not allowed to go to high school or were not even allowed to go to school. Women are encouraged to get married quickly, even though they are still in their teens and do not yet have physical and mental readiness. This fact is still found in people with low levels of education. Today, women have equal access to the highest possible schools. For example, several female celebrities who have studied up to graduate and postgraduate levels like Maudy Ayunda. We all know Maudy Ayunda. She has completed her postgraduate at Stanford University with 2 degrees. At the same time, namely an MBA, Master of Business Administration, and MA, Master of Arts. We can also see this fact as a whole. Women have been allowed to take formal education to the highest level. The second example is there is no different treatment in the world of work. In the world of work, sometimes there is still discrimination against women, starting from working hours to salary. Even when registering for a job, women are often categorized into certain fields, such as having to look attractive, beautiful, tall, slim, and of a certain skin color. We usually call it good looking. To achieve gender equality in the world of work, company leaders must also understand human sexuality. For example, a woman who is pregnant is given a tolerance of working hours or some time off until her condition allows her to work again. It's not even reasonable if giving time off will disrupt the company's productivity. And the third example is have the same rights. Today's women have occupied position in government, bureaucracy, and politics. This has shown that society is becoming increasingly aware of gender equality. However, it is possible that the position of female officials taking part in policy making is still underappreciated. Not only that, but women also have the right to become leaders of organizations and even countries. In the past, we had Ibu Susi Pujiastuti. She is an Indonesian entrepreneur who served as the Minister of Maritime Affairs and Fisheries in President Joko Widodo's in 2014 until 2019 working cabinet. She is also the owner of PT ASI Pujiastuti Marine Product, a seafood export company, and PT ASI Pujiastuti Aviation, which operate the Susi Air charter airline. She is an example of a great woman in Indonesia because, besides being a wife and a mother, she also plays a role as a minister and a successful businesswoman in Indonesia. The Ministry of Women Empowerment and Child Protection also explained that women have the same ownership rights. Indonesian civil law stipulates that men and women have the same property rights. Women in Indonesia have legal rights to access property and land and have access to bank credit. A decision was made for justice and to avoid the disadvantage of women over male domination by taking advantage of existing legal weaknesses. So, what the solution of gender equality? There are several prominent issues related to gender inequality that almost appear in every region. The namely is human trafficking, domestic violence, early age marriage, migrant workers, sexual harassment and violence, and lack of education. In this regard, Papua has its own very complex and complicated problems because it involves various interrelated factors. The problems there are related to the economic, cultural, educational, health, and environmental sectors which are rooted in traditional and cultural factors. Addressing this problem requires extra effort and effort from various parties, especially the awareness of the Papuan people themselves to erode an unhealthy culture. Nevertheless, there is a glimmer of hope that appears because in various places there have been various efforts to overcome the problems of gender inequality. Some of the efforts that have been successfully made, for example, is establishment of family counseling center, cooperation with internal crutch, government and private parties for women empowerment and counseling, socialization, mentoring and training campaign, advocacy for victims, data collection of Indonesia and foreign workers, formation of women division. So, the issue of gender equality in society must continue to be given information and education so that there will be no more gender inequality. This emphasizes that human, female, and male have the same rights and are equal in every way in life. Thank you.